So they'll be calling you an article. This is major breaking news. And I think Tim Martin did so much great work. Kevin Blanch and Tim Martin, you know, we had the Blanch Martin matrix we developed years ago, screaming about the salmon collapse. Everybody was attacking us. Everybody was laughing at us. Oh, there's record returns. There's record returns. I said, Chinook salmon go to sea for 5 years. They'll collapse in 2016. This is unprecedented. And, you know, we pushed for this hard. He and I both have pushed it. You know, we were talking the most famous salmon guide maybe in Oregon in the last 50 years. Tim Martin, he caught the world's record stillhead in 2010 before Fukushima. So, unprecedented. Oregon has completely closed all salmon fishing on the entire coast, commercial and residential. How irony gets reported, well, by Tim Martin and myself report it, on Fukushima Day. 12 years. 12 years. Now remember, anybody that tells you this is a gradual collapse is full of shit. We have all the data. Record returns in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12. The half pounders, Tim Martin and I were just talking, he says, I've went and watched them pull the nets for years post-Fukushima, and I haven't even pulled one half pounder, one stillhead. So that started collapsing in 2012 on cue, just like the tide pools. But the Chinook salmon had record returns in 2011, 2012, 2013, 14. Look it up. The Army Corps engineers didn't crash and take down their live cam until after the crash. I said, they'll crash in 2016. Will you believe me then? They go to sea for 5 years. Record. They had 1.4 million returns. That's counting, not counting the gill net number. The gill net number and the number. If you take the gill netting number, they take 50% fishing before they get to the fish count. 2.8 million. And this is by number, not by weight. They've gone from 2.8 million to basically, well, you read the report. Emergency close. I remember fighting right over here in a coffee shop with a guy. Two guys come in. Oh my God, it's Kevin Blanch. You're ruining our fishing guide business. Fishing guides here in Oregon. What are you, fishing guides on the Great Salt Lake? Maybe go catch some mermaids. And they're like, no, we're in Oregon. I'm like, fuck, please. Ruining your business? How are you going to fish when there's no fucking fish? You should get on my team. Of course, they didn't. So, Fukushima, 12 years of lies. So, anybody that tells you that this has been going on, this is full of shit. I don't talk enough about the fires and the acute catastrophe. You need to rake up the forest in Idaho and Utah, in Colorado. The fires post fireballs from the sky, fire tornadoes, not just Paradise, not all these fires. California, oh yeah, Oregon. You remember our friend never caught a paper fish? Remember him? Sent us that video up there as the fire was closing in on him. We haven't heard from him since. The fires are so devastating in Oregon, in northern Idaho, in Colorado, we don't even know how many people it killed. I mean, all post-Fukushima. You know, so this is major, gigantic news. I've pushed for it for years. So, where's Greenpeace? Where's Sierra Club? Where's Friends of the Earth? The fraud that they've exposed. The salmon have been, especially the steelhead, have been in violation of the Federal Endangered Species Act. Oregon has their own endangered species. They've been in violation. They won't enforce it, which is against the law. But who's to hold their feet to the fire? I tried. Tim Martin and I tried for it. We reached in, I mean, it's really, so Tim, we just talked and he's like, I feel so good about our work that we did, you know, the videos, on the ground, boots on the ground all over. And I'm like, and they just buried us and just, you know, as you say, internet kettled us. I mean, you can't even find it. We get 200 views if we're lucky. I says, well, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is we did our work. We did what had to be done, and we did it. And what else can we do? It's all I can do, we can do, to keep waiting for you. It's all I can do. What else are we to do? You know, and everybody wants to brand themselves in history. Go ahead. Go ahead, because it's not hypothesis anymore by Kevin Blanch. So, By the way, the Kenai on the peninsula, you know, my friend who lives right here used to fight and argue with me, one of the richest guys in Weaver County. He bought the hatchery, used to fight with me and argue with me on this. You know, he's a big salmon fisher up there. He had a heart attack the same time I did this year. He passed away, sadly, but so you all act like it. So it's unprecedented, I'm telling you. The entire Oregon coast, all of it, all the rivers, commercial and it's closed. You know, the whole spring season done. Zero. It's never happened ever before. Same with the Kenai in Alaska. Fraser, so you know that WDFW, Washington, you can look it up. There was all kinds of sex scandals going in 2015 when we were doing all the work. And one of the lead guys at WDFW, he's in prison for rape. Another employee at I mean, you can look it up. They claim they were having orgies. I mean, you cannot make this up. Biblical on Balco. Fireballs coming from the sky. Fire tornadoes in Idaho, in Colorado, in Utah. I mean, these fires in this drought, epic. And you're going to chalk it up to coincidence. Well, the tide pools, wasting disease. What's wasting disease? It's like Oregon's reporting now some woman came into the half-full aquarium with her hair on fire. Me and Tim Martin have been in that half-full aquarium so many times talking to biologists. They won't even really talk to us, but they say they will admit that the salmon are dying at sea. This is an acute collapse. And anybody that tells you this has been going on for years is full of shit. The salmon numbers prove it. Look it up. 2.8 million returning salmon on the Columbia River. That's the gill net number. That's the fishing number. The count number after they go over the dam was 1.4 million. Big old beast. Now they're sick. They're scrawny. Remember those videos we did on the Klamath with the tribal leader? And he's saying Fukushima, they're sucked up. They go, how about the Jedediah Smith? We're boots on the ground at the Jedediah Smith. There's no dams on the Jedediah Smith. Historic, acute, radical collapse. Record returns on the Chinook and Delta. Look at this. So it's emergency closed, and they're saying we're going to file for the Endangered Species Act. Boy, Kevin Blanche and Tim Martin, the Post-Ignorance Army, we are owed so many apologies. And what did we get for it? Well, both of us got. He had heart surgery the same time I did. You know, he got some stents shoved in. He got one stent, which is not pleasant party. I got mine split open twice. Not to mention fighting AML leukemia. I'm running out of freaking places to put my emergency medical bracelets. I got them on both arms. So, our hearts are broken. We tried. Fukushima, 12 years of denial. Lies. I think back on it. Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and Joe Biden talk about their whole entire presidencies and everybody to do with them. Talk about ruin. Talk about if you're a professor. I'm a butcher, what's a cow? I'm a baker, what's a cake? I'm a fisherman, what's a boat? I'm a carpenter, what's a hammer? I'm a plasterer, what's a hawk and trowel? Huh. I'm a marine biologist professor at Weber State University, at San Diego State, at Cal Berkeley, at University of Oregon, at Oregon State. I'm a science professor. I'm print media. I'm Operation Foxconn News, CNN producers. What's Fukushima? So, Fukushima, 12 years. This is a major, giant breaking story. Thank you, Tim Martin, up there, for all your incredible story. I remember his wife threw him out over Fukushima. He called me. He said, I was really sick in those days. We were doing all the great work on the ocean. I was on California. He was on Oregon. You need to tell Kevin Blanche he needs to calm down and quit flipping that soup can behind his back. That's the funniest thing I ever heard. But he sold his boat. He got rid of all the shit years ago because he could see you're too blind to see the writing on the wall. You were never ready for the fall. A man can tell 1,000 lies. I've learned my lesson well. Hope I live to tell, and I did live to tell. So, fugo me not. What's a fugo bomb? Fugo me not. Fugo me not. So, get this. You'll love this. And in San Diego, Scripps of all people, who are Fukushima deniers to the 10th power, they're supposed to be handling the ocean now. They've been taking these big, giant air suckers that suck air particles out off the ocean into the air. And now they're reporting that the contamination off the Pacific Ocean is in the air. Thank you, Mr. Obvious. Maybe that San Diego State, University of Oregon, Oregon State, Cal Berkeley, Weaver State can get a grant to tell us where babies come from. Storms rise up. Breaking news. Jet stream moves left to right. You think it's a coincidence? The greatest drought, 1,200 years. The fires, the dead tide pools, the salmon collapse, the seal collapse. How about the Muirs all like? You think that's coincidence? You're a fool. Go ahead. So the greatest PhD in human history, the Post-Ignorance Project, asymmetric to the Manhattan Project. So, emergency closed. Fukushima. The mighty Ben Lomond. Whoa. I went into a bone marrow transplant on 11/11/11, given 2 months to live, full of AML leukemia. Just another coincidence. Storms move across here. First place they hit right here, direct shot. It's called the jet stream. Look up a fugo bomb. Fugo me not. And the United States runs the nuclear industry in Japan. Yalta by the sea. Obama, Trump, Biden, and their entire administrations. Well, for that matter, how about Senator Wyden used to talk to me all the time, then wouldn't just shut up on Fukushima. He went to Fukushima multiple times. He's still a United States Senator in Oregon. Let's see what he's got to say about it. Oh, they'll get a federal bailout, get a grant. Another bank collapses. They had to run on a bank. Get a bailout, get a bailout. PPO, get a bailout, get a bailout. Tax the future, give to my friends, GOP. Freaking, I'm the next elitist. I'm going to have my 60th birthday party with Jay-Z and friends. Left. That's pathetic. Economy. You've seen the economy? It's in a ditch. $32 trillion in debt. We're leading out of control debt. Crumbling infrastructure. Train derailments all over the place. Hyper psychotic inflation. Longevity again. In 2012, we have organ transplants. We have cancer treatment is getting so good, we have open heart surgery procedures. Oh, I know. Yet we're not living longer, we're living less. Longevity headed south in 2012. Another coincidence, bro. Major news. So thank you, Tim Martin, for all your incredible work. I appreciate you. You know, I really do. And it's been hard. You know, we've done it basically on a shoestring and nothing, but it's irony. This gets reported on the 12th anniversary of Fukushima. You'll see no media. You know, they're still dog and pony showing on they're going to dump, could dump 4,300 and what? Be going on about 90 days. Just 3 full now. We're afraid of nuclear energy meltdowns until they happen. The nuclear energy emperors, they have no clothes. Stay in tune.